Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into one of the toughest, most draining parts of being a parent, those huge, overwhelming emotional storms our kids have. We're going to reframe this completely, not as bad behavior, but as a biological signal they can't control. So let's get right into it.
I mean, does this sound familiar? I bet it does. If you've ever had this thought flash through your mind while your kid is having a total meltdown, you are so not alone. That frustration is completely real, and it's the exact feeling we're going to tackle today, but by looking at it through a whole new lens.
So here's our game plan. We'll start in that familiar, frustrating moment. Then we're going to pivot to what's really going on inside their brains. We'll unpack a practical toolkit, talk about building long-term emotional safety, and finally look at the incredible impact this shift can have. Just picture it for a second. It's late afternoon, you're trying to get dinner on the table, and suddenly your child just erupts. Maybe it's over a broken crayon, the wrong colored cup. It doesn't even matter what it is. All you know is you're suddenly caught in the middle of a massive emotional storm, and it feels like you're both drowning. It's in those exact moments that it's so easy to feel completely lost. The sheer force of their feelings can make us feel like we're failing, like we're just getting it all wrong. But what if I told you this has nothing to do with your parenting skills or your child being naughty? What if it's just biology? And that brings us to the most important shift we're going to make today. See, our go-to responses, things like punishments or timeouts, they're often based on the idea that this behavior is a choice. But what if the science is telling us something completely different? What if we're missing the real story? This right here illustrates the two paths perfectly. On one side, you have the traditional view. They're being defiant. This is a discipline problem. But on the other side, the neurobiological view. Their little nervous system is completely overwhelmed and is sending out a desperate SOS. It's not a discipline issue. It's a distress signal. Okay, so what is actually happening inside their brains and bodies when this goes down? Let's geek out on the science for a minute, because trust me, once you understand the why, the how to handle it becomes so much more clear and honestly so much more effective. The big phrase here is nervous system dysregulation. All this really means is that their fight or flight response has completely taken over. The thinking, rational part of their brain literally goes offline. Their body is flooded with stress chemicals. When they're in this state, they physically cannot think clearly, listen to you, or control themselves. It's not that they won't, it's that they can't. And you gotta remember, a child's brain is literally being sculpted by their experiences. Think about it like this. The brain's emotion engine, the amygdala, is running at full power from a very young age. But the braking system, the prefrontal cortex that helps with control, is still under construction for years. So stressful experiences are what wire how those two parts learn to talk to each other. Now, this dysregulation can get turned up even louder by deeper experiences. When we talk about psychological trauma, it's not always about one huge event. It can be a state of overwhelming mental pressure that just keeps happening. Things like constant family conflict or feeling unsafe at school can make a child's nervous system extra sensitive and way more likely to get overloaded. So how can you catch this before it turns into a full-blown meltdown? You have to become a detective and look for the physical clues. These are the body's early warning signs. You might see their cheeks get flushed, or they start fidgeting and can't stay still. Maybe they cover their ears or eyes. These aren't random things. They're signals that their system is about to tip over the edge. Okay, so grasping this one idea that it's biology, not just bad behavior, it changes everything. It moves us out of a place of anger and judgment and into a place of compassion and genuine help. And hey, if this is already clicking for you, if this is a bit of a light bulb moment, do me a quick favor and follow our channel. We create these explainers to help you navigate this stuff, and we'd love to have you along for the... All right, now that we get the why, it's time for the how. If a child's nervous system is out of control, here's the secret. They can't calm themselves down yet. They need us to do it with them. And that's where this amazing tool called co-regulation comes in. The best way to think about it is this. Your child is in a runaway car, and they can't find the brakes. Co-regulation is you sitting calmly in the passenger seat, helping them find the brake pedal. You are literally lending them your calm nervous system to help them slow down until their own brain is developed enough to do it for themselves. So what does this look like in the heat of the moment? 4 simple steps. 1, just be there. Your calm, grounded presence is a lifeline. 2, turn down the volume on the world. Lower your voice, maybe dim the lights. Less input is better. 3, give the feeling a name. Saying you are so angry right now makes the chaos feel manageable. And 4, this is the most important one, connect before you correct.
An activated brain can't learn a lesson. It needs to feel safe first. And the words you use are your superpowers. You know, UNICEF points out some great ones. Get down on their physical level. Nod. Show them you're really listening. Be a mirror for their feelings. It sounds like you're really sad we have to leave. And this one is critical. Always talk about the behavior, not the child's identity, and help them learn what emotions feel like by naming what you see. Your fists are tight and your voice is loud. It looks like you're feeling that.
So, co-regulation is amazing for those crisis moments. But the real long-term goal is to build a home environment that's so safe and actually helps keep their nervous system regulated pretty much all the time. So how do we build that safe base? Well, it starts by lowering the stress in the home. Less shouting, more calm. It means creating predictable routines so they know what to expect. It's about getting back to basics. Good sleep and good food are non-negotiable. And it's about making time for pure connection and play, and giving them ways to get their big feelings out, whether that's their drawing or stories or just wrestling on the floor. And please never, ever underestimate the pure magic of gentle touch. A simple hand on their shoulder, a quiet hug. These are not just nice gestures. They trigger a real chemical reaction in the brain. They release hormones like oxytocin, that's the bonding hormone, and serotonin, which helps with well-being. This is literally science-backed connection. So what's the big payoff here? Why go through all this effort to shift your approach? Well, because it's about so much more than just stopping tantrums. It's about building an emotionally healthy, resilient human being for life. Every single time you co-regulate with your child, you're not just putting out a fire. You are literally building the pathways in their brain for them to calm themselves down in the future. You're teaching them emotional intelligence. You're making your bond with them rock solid, based on trust. You are wiring their brain for a lifetime of resilience. Look, this is a journey. It's not a quick fix. It takes a ton of practice and patience for you and for your child. But the good news is you don't have to figure it all out by yourself. If this has been helpful for you, please make sure you're following our channel. We're committed to being a resource for you as you navigate this amazing and sometimes challenging path. So I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Don't think about overhauling everything at once. Just think, what is one small thing you can do today to be the calm in your child's storm? Maybe it's just taking a deep breath yourself before you react. Whatever it is, that's where you start. Thanks so much for being here.